On this episode, we speak to Sorina, who gave birth in Miyazaki Prefecture.
Especially in Romania, there's this, idea that you're gonna get a
Wow.
C-section.
Yeah.
Then it's so easy. Yeah, I was like, no, it's not.
She talks about how Hashimoto disease affected her pregnancy and birth plans.
It can either lead to miscarriage or later in pregnancy it can affect your baby's development.
And takes us through her postpartum recovery.
They had to move him to NICU, so it was like high and low. After that, I was devastated.
Hello and welcome to Birth Stories of Japan. Hi Sorina, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Really
I'm so happy
Yay.
that you invited me to share my story, and I'm so happy that I can talk to you.
Yeah.
Not in person, but
Yeah, no, the pleasure is absolutely all mine. I'm so glad that we could finally get together. I'd love for us to start off with just a little bit of an introduction about you and your family.
Yeah, so I'm Sorina. Hi. I'm born and raised in Romania. I love foreign languages, and since I was a child, I really loved English, and I think I started learning it in preschool. Then I continued during my years in school and at university too. So one of my majors is in English. No, actually English is my second and Japanese is my first.
Wow.
So I also started watching animes. I think everybody can relate to that before coming to Japan. You watch animes and I don't know, manga too, maybe for some people. So I really enjoy Japanese language and culture. So I wanted to go to Japan and as an exchange student at first. So that's how I met my now husband. So we met in Japan. He's Japanese. So we're currently living here in Japan, in Miyazaki to be more precise.
Awesome. And how about your son? You've got a son as well?
Yes, my son. My son name is Luca. Yes, he's going to be 8 months this month on 7th. Yeah, he was born on June 7th.
Awesome.
Last year. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
He's moving around a lot, so.
Oh gosh, well we better be fast then. We better get into your pregnancy journey. So what was that like, getting pregnant with Luca?
So I started, we really wanted to get pregnant, so I'm like to be prepared. So we started by me getting checked by a doctor and my husband as well, just to make sure I was healthy, and that's when I discovered I had an autoimmune disorder called Hashimoto's disease. It's a disease in which antibodies destroy my thyroid.
Wow.
And because of this, your TSH levels, your hormonal levels get too high, and then you can have symptoms like depression, fatigue, puffy face, even being very angry without any reason sometimes. So if you want to get pregnant, then you need to have those under control, those levels under control. Otherwise, it can either lead to miscarriage or later in pregnancy, it can affect your baby's development. If I'm not mistaken, it relates to the brain development especially. So it's very risky to not have that treated before getting pregnant. So I was really relieved that I, did all my checkups. And so I started the treatment first. And then after a year of treatment, we got pregnant. So I was told that it might take longer and then it just happened really fast. Like,
Wow.
I think we didn't even like tried it once. And it's like I wanted to, have more time, because I was expecting, to enjoy the process of making babies,
You gotta enjoy it, hey. Wow. So all of that preparation, that is all a part of your journey of becoming pregnant. So
yes. So and I still had to continue treatment during pregnancy because you have to have those levels under control
Right.
all the time, at all times. Like, you can't have like TSH levels higher than 4, I think.
Oh, okay.
They're really bad for you, even if you're not pregnant.
Right.
So, but if you are pregnant, you need to have them under 2.5.
Okay.
So when I was diagnosed, I had 4, almost 5 when I was diagnosed. And then I got them under 2.5.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to have an extra thing on your plate to think about would have been quite a lot.
Yeah.
And so how was it throughout your pregnancy then?
So my first and second trimester, I didn't have too many problems. I mean, except morning sickness. Like, it was really bad. Like, it lasted for 4 months.
Yeah.
And everything I ate, I kind of like, throw it up. So I love food. So for me, that was tough because I love eating good food, and I just like couldn't enjoy it. Like, even the smell would make me throw up. And like, even good smells, like perfume, or I couldn't even bathe or like take a shower with like normal products. But my second trimester was really the one that I enjoyed the most.
Nice.
I spent a lot of time with my husband and his family. We traveled a little bit. I was able to eat again, so
awesome.
Yay!
Yeah. And then, how did you go about finding your birth facility?
So I had another pre-existing problem, actually. It's something hereditary. My platelets count is very low for some reason. Like, we don't know. Like, I went to so many doctors, and they still can't find like a reason why that is happening.
Did you find this out during the pregnancy or beforehand?
No, I knew about it. Okay. So because I was kind of expecting, to be a problem at the delivery.
Sure.
So doctors were really concerned about that. So I didn't have an option.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't choose where to give birth. It had to be at a big hospital.
I see. Okay.
So it's Nobeoka Prefectural Hospital.
Yeah. So from that point onwards, you were like a high risk pregnancy then?
Yes. Gotcha. High risk pregnancy and delivery.
Gotcha.
I mean, delivery was the problem, actually, because this, I don't know, condition, like, I really don't have any symptoms. It's just like really, it's a very big danger if I get hurt in any way and I bleed too much.
Yeah.
But my counts weren't really that bad, so we were really optimistic about me having like a natural birth.
Oh, awesome. And that's something that you wanted to do?
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, I was scared at first and really nervous, as a new mom. But I watched like tons of YouTube videos and read a lot of books about natural birth, and that helped me a lot to be more positive and excited about it. So I was like really into getting a all natural, nothing, no medicine and all of that. But that didn't happen, actually.
Right. Do you want to take us into your birth story then?
Yes. So, because towards the end of my third semester, my platelet count was getting too low. I had to have a transfusion.
Wow.
And that transfusion, like platelet transfusion, had to be made during the birth because they can go bad very quickly. So they have to use it immediately.
Right.
And yes, as a result, I was forced to have an induced delivery, like it had to be scheduled.
Gotcha.
And I was really disappointed by that because, I really wanted to get that experience when I have to rush to the hospital. I mean, not rush, but, like I wanted to, feel like my water broke or like feel the contractions like slowly, coming. Oh, is this a contraction? Is it a Braxton hit? And I wanted to also like stay at home as much as possible before going to the hospital. But yeah, I didn't get to do that, unfortunately.
How was it going in for that, and what was the care like there for you?
They were really nice. My doctor was actually my husband's relative, so
wow,
I felt a little bit reassured.
Yeah, awesome.
So that helped me a lot, and but at the same time, like I feel like at big hospitals and with risky pregnancy, like you don't really get to have your own birth plan. So I wish I had more, I don't know, more power to decide some things.
Sure.
And because the process of induction was really traumatic for me. It was really painful. Like I was expecting pain, but not this much,
Yeah.
And the first part was really painful. Like they started with introducing the foley bulbs,
okay,
like small balloons inside, and to open up your cervix.
Yeah.
So that was like I can't even describe the pain that I felt.
Gosh.
So the contractions were nothing for me.
Right. So that was overtaking the rest.
Yeah. The rest of other like procedures that I had done on me were worse than contractions. And then they started the oxytocin IV.
Sure.
So that made my contraction worse.
Right.
With time, it wasn't like all of a sudden, but after all of this, I was dilated only 2 or 3 centimeters. So I was like, oh my God, it doesn't like happen.
Yeah.
Like it happens so slow and I'm like in so much pain.
Yeah.
But at night, the nurse stopped the IV so I could rest. The problem was the contraction didn't stop. Yeah. So my back pain was really awful and I couldn't sleep. I mean, I think I slept only like 3 hours or maybe 4.
What week were you gestational? Do you remember?
39.
Right.
The next day, the contractions were really bad. I couldn't even stand up.
Gosh.
So, like the nurses were really nice. They put on music for me. There was like a rocking chair, kind of like you would sit and you could rock like this, like just like nice. I don't know, helping probably with moving the baby to like for the baby to move to. So that was really good.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
And then on the third day, on Wednesday,
gosh,
gave birth.
Wow.
So
Sheesh, you weren't kidding. It definitely was a long labor. Hey.
So the midwife, I've noticed that at the hospital they have nurses but also midwives, or like even combined a nurse that is also a midwife.
Right.
So on Wednesday morning, the midwife came to check my cervix. And I was 5 centimeters dilated after 2 days. Wow. Almost 2 days. But then when she did that, she also like broke my water.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if she did that on like on purpose or like it just happened. Yeah. I'm not sure because I wasn't in my right
yeah.
head. So And then like the baby's pulse started to weaken. So they had to move me to the delivery room.
Right.
And because the amniotic fluid was like decreasing, it was too much that went out.
Yeah.
They had to put in a monitor to track my baby's heartbeat, and also more amniotic fluid. And can you imagine like having those procedures done on you while you are in pain? Like it even magnified it even more.
Yeah, of course.
So I think that the birth itself, like the contractions and all of that, weren't as bad as all these other procedures that were really traumatic for me. Yeah.
So sorry to hear.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying not to think about it, but I still get flashbacks about those procedures done on me, and it's really hard to. I'm kind of like almost. I think I have PTSD because of it.
Fair enough.
Because like flashbacks keep coming like all of the sudden, and
oh gosh,
yeah, I try to shove it down somewhere, but it just happens all of a sudden. So
you can't really prepare for it. Hey, like you can know about it, you can hear stories, but at the end of the day, you just have no idea what's going to happen.
That was really the case for me. Yeah.
And then, so your last stages of labor, do you want to take us through that?
So I felt after all of that, I felt like pushing. But then the doctor discovered that the baby's head didn't come down enough. So they were, and he wasn't turned either. Like he was he was on the left side.
Right.
And so they tried to do that manually. Like I really asked my doctor, I really wanted like a natural birth. I wanted to be there and to see my baby,
Yeah, totally understand.
So that was like my biggest wish. And the doctor understood that, and they tried all they could for me to have that experience, but they couldn't do much. So in the end, I had to have like an emergency C-sections, which meant that I will have to go under general anesthesia.
Right.
So I just didn't get to see my baby, come out, So that's my like biggest regret.
Yeah. Aww,
Yeah.
That's so tough. And was your husband there with you that whole time, or any support person for you?
No. That's another thing that, I mean, I was kind of okay with it, but it's still hard. I mean, I can speak Japanese, so language wasn't really a problem for me. But in those moments, like
it's more than just language.
How it's like you need someone close to be there for you, and it was really hard for me not to have that person there, like my husband there. He was allowed to 20 minutes visits every day,
right?
But him and another person, like the two persons a day, could come and visit you,
right?
But my mother couldn't come to Japan, and like my family, nobody from my family could, and I really felt very, very alone. Very. The nurses and the midwives were really good to me.
Awesome.
And they were almost 24 hours staying with me and helped me a lot. But it's not the same.
Yeah, sure. And then do you want to talk about that post-recovery? So how did that go for you?
So, I don't know. Some people like to say like C-section, oh, you chose the, easy way out, kind of. Like, especially in Romania, there's this idea that it's the easy way. Like, oh my God, you're going to get a C-section? Then, it's so easy. Yeah. Like, no, it's not. It's worse. And it's worse, and I recovered very slowly because of that. I was anemic afterwards.
Wow.
I also got an infection during all those procedures done on me. So the recovery, that made the recovery even slower.
Right.
I had fevers for weeks, postpartum bleeding for 2 months.
Gosh.
It was really hard to, and like even taking care of the baby during, recovery, it was hard. But fortunately, my husband had some free time at the moment, and and his mother too helped me a lot. My mother-in-law and his little sister also
That's awesome.
helped me taking care of the baby, because for the first weeks afterwards, like I needed to sleep a lot, and
especially with the infection
so tired
stuff
all the time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't eat much either. So I felt really, really weak.
Right.
Physically and mentally, to be honest. Yeah.
I bet. And then just looking at your notes, you say that baby Luca ended up in the NICU department. Do you want to go through that?
Yeah, so when they put in the amniotic fluid, he swallowed some of it.
I see.
I'm not sure, or maybe during the C-section. I don't know exactly how that happened, but because of that, he couldn't eat after, being born, and because he would vomit every time he was fed. So yeah, he had to get IV as well. And also because he got the yellow skin,
jaundice.
His name was jaundice.
Yeah.
Jaundice. Yeah. Another problem that I had was my RH was negative.
Oh wow.
So that's a problem that happens to baby, because my baby was positive.
Gotcha.
And although I got my shot done during pregnancy, and the firstborn apparently doesn't have problems usually, but he had the the jaundice problem as well. So he had to get that treatment too,
right,
in the NICU.
So how long was he there for?
I think 4 or 5 days. We were hospitalized for a week.
Yeah. And so what was that process like, seeing him in NICU and having to spend that time, your first times together like that? What was that like for you, both physically but also mentally?
So the first time I saw it, the first day was really nice for me, because the first time I saw it, oh my God, I did it. Yeah. We did it. Cool. Like, we're here. We're both alive. Yeah. Like, I was so happy. And immediately he was put to my breast, and he started sucking immediately. And I was so happy. Oh my God, it's going to go well. It's going to go very well. Yeah, cool. And then the next day, they had to move him to NICU. So it was like high and low. And
okay.
I got, after that, I was devastated. And
gosh, what a roller coaster.
Like seeing him, like he was really tiny too. Like he had like 2.6 kilograms. Right. And then he lost weight, so he was like 2.4 because he didn't eat. Gotcha. So he was really, really tiny, and seeing him there with IV, hooking up like IVs, and all alone, kind of, I felt it was my fault. I wanted so badly, and then sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, my husband too had a hard time.
I'm feeling
oh my
for
God,
you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Don't be sorry.
You're also pregnant, and
no, I'm just feeling for you, because that would have been so tough. Like, Yeah, without a doubt, so tough.
But I'm happy that, everything is very well right now. He's such a happy kid and smiling all the time and laughing.
Yeah. So
farting.
Cool.
Like he's a little bit of a gassy baby, but I tried a lot, but he's just like, and now I think because of my reaction, he's like starting to laugh after about he farts.
That's the best. Oh my god.
So like I'm really happy, we pulled through. And now we had some hard moments, but we're just so happy right now.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, just the three of us. We're such a happy family, just exactly like I wished,
That's so beautiful. I'm so happy for you guys.
Thank you.
It makes all the hard times worth it, hey?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, do you know how much everything cost in the end?
So I think that hospitalization fee and C-section was around 320,000 yen. But it ended up being free because we used gifted money. There was we got like 500,000 yen from my area. So for my hospitalization and all the other procedures, it was free. Nice. But we had an additional cost of 18,000 yen for his NICU hospitalization.
Gotcha. And that was 4 to 5 days.
But I think that came back to us afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh. Some of it, not all of it, but
yeah. That's so good. You ended up making money. That's
actually, yeah.
That's so good. It's bottle time. Due to your health conditions, there were obviously physical implications during pregnancy and birth, but how about mentally?
Yes, I think that more than the physical part, the mental part was harder because, I felt although it's not my fault, I felt very guilty, and very alone because around me, all women around me had like normal births, very healthy women, multiple births, without any problems. So I really felt alone, especially. Yeah, so I'm still feeling a little bit guilty. Like since I was a kid, I really wanted to have a baby and I was, imagining things like I think maybe most girls do, and imagining my husband being there, like I don't know, me getting angry at him for, I don't know, all those kind of like funny moments that happen during, laboring with your husband next to you. And I didn't get to do that either. And then on top of that, my baby wasn't healthy either in the beginning. So I really felt also disappointed in me, and maybe also in like the whole situation, and maybe a little bit in God. Although I'm not religious, but I am very spiritual and I love praying, and it was really hard for me to accept that reality. I'm better now. Because my family helped me a lot, my friends helped me a lot, and just seeing my baby every day, his smile on his face, his laugh, hearing his laugh, him crawling on me, it's just like the happiest thing ever. like I don't think I've ever felt so much loved and needed in my life. So I think that although it was hard, I think I would make the same decision. If I have to go through this again, I would do it.
And Luca is just so lucky to have you.
Thank you. I had a lot of work to do to get to this point. And love helped me a lot.
Yeah, of course. And I'll just ask one more. How did you come to terms with having to be flexible with your birth plan?
It was really hard.
Sure.
Like I said, I had like all pictured out.
Yeah.
I know that probably I shouldn't have done that. That was kind of probably my fault because, you never know what happens, even if you're healthy, But I really wanted the natural birth. I really wanted, to almost like, take out the baby out of me,
Yeah.
Like I've seen those videos and I thought that was such a beautiful moment. And it was something that I really wished for. But at the end of the day, I was thinking as long as the baby is safe and healthy and I am also healthy and safe and I can be there for him afterwards, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful moment and I really wished that would have happened, but I still got to see him afterwards. So
sure.
And my mother-in-law used to work at the hospital that I gave birth.
Yeah.
She worked at NICU, actually.
Oh, wow.
She was a chief nurse there.
Wow.
So a lot of people knew her and then, of course, knew me.
Right.
And after the C-section, a good friend of my mother-in-law came really quickly and she took a video of the baby, crying. And I got to see him just like, after being pulled out.
Wow.
Yeah. And oh my God, I'm so grateful for that friend.
Yeah, that's amazing.
She was able to. Yeah. So I got to see him, a little bit, kind of,
Yeah. So it was beautiful in your own way. It may not be the way you had first pictured, but you still got some really beautiful moments out of it, hey?
Yes.
That is so, so awesome. I'm so glad that it all worked out in the end. And I just want to say thank you so much for being strong and brave enough to talk about it and share it with me and others.
Thank you. Thank you so much for, allowing me to do that. I am a huge fan of the podcast. Yay! Unfortunately, unfortunately, I found out about it after, giving birth.
It is a new project.
I think it would have helped me. Yeah. I think it would have helped me more to know. Watch it.
Well, that's why I'm doing this now, so that people in the future have something to refer to.
I really felt good after, listening to all these other birth stories. So, I'm just really happy that I found out this podcast, really.
I'm glad that I found you. I'm happy that I found you. Yeah. Your story is also just going to be a part of this podcast to help others. And I'm just so, so grateful.
Yeah, I really hope so, too. That's why I'm doing it too, because I felt really alone throughout my pregnancy because I couldn't find like too much information about people with exactly the same condition or like something similar. Maybe a few cases, but it's really rare. So for all the mothers out there, you are strong, you are beautiful, and you are the best mom ever. No matter what other people say, like you are the best.
So if you'd like to hear more birth stories, please subscribe to this channel. Giving us a like also helps other moms see this video too, so please give us a thumbs up if you can. You can check out the description for more information about bits mentioned in this episode, but if you have any other questions or feedback, please leave a comment below or get in touch. And lastly, if you're a mama that has a story to tell, please send an email to birthstoriesjp@gmail.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.